influence the economic development. And here, what is the major difference? Major difference between the economic growth and development. So, in the economic growth, we are going to talk about the increase in the market output, which results in the economic growth. Whereas in the economic development, you are going to talk about in terms of welfare values and market output. Okay. So here, when you talk about the economic growth, here we are talking about the quantitative concept. It is a quantitative concept. Why? Because you are going to talk about in terms of percentage, how much you are earning. So what is GDP and all, you are going to take in the numerical aspect. So that means that economic growth is measured in the quantitative concept. Whereas economic development, it is a qualitative concept. You are going to talk about the welfare. You talk about the values. You talk about the market. Okay. So here means in the economic development, you don't consider quantitative. Instead, you consider the qualitative concept. Okay. So here, when you talk about the economic growth is unidimensional, whereas economic development is multidimensional. So when you talk about the economics, we have two types of economics, isn't it? Microeconomics and macroeconomics. So economic growth is all about the microeconomics, and economic development is all about the macroeconomics. Okay. So here, when you talk about the economic growth, it is a major concern about the developed countries. So here, whereas economic development, it is a major concern for the developing countries. So the difference is economic growth, you talk about the developed countries. In the economic development, you talk about the developing countries. And here, this economic growth, it is independent of the development. Okay. So here, whereas when you talk about the economic development, it happens only if the economic grows. If economic growth is not there in the economy, then there is no economic development. So this happens, economic development happens only if the economic growth is there in the economy. And here, major indicators, when you talk about the economic growth, what are the major indicators? How do you know that like economy is growing? So what are the indicators? The indicators are GDP, real GDP and real per capita income. These are the major indicators which you are going to use in order to identify that what is the percentage of the economic growth is there in the economy. In order to know that, these are the indicators you are going to consider. Whereas indicators for the economic development, you are going to take human development index, you are going to take physical quality of the life index, you are going to talk about the net income, net economic welfare. These are the indicators. These are very important. So when you talk about the you know that economy is growing, how do you know that there is a development in the economy? So based on these indicators, you try to identify that. Okay. So this is all about the difference between economic growth and economic development. This question you can expect an external point of view. Okay. That is what is like economic growth versus economic development. This you can make a note of it. Finish? Is this clear, this part, the difference between economic growth and economic development?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next. Here, next is measures of economic development and social welfare. Okay, see, when you talk about the measures, here, what do you mean by this? So here, what is the advantage? What is the objective? So the main aim is improving the social. When you talk about the economic development, the main aim is to improve the social well-being as well as the economic conditions of the nation. So here, as I said, that economic growth, it results in rising the. So when GDP is increasing, then what you can say that economy is growing. Okay, economy is growing, market productivity is growing. Okay, and here, various factors you need to consider while measuring the economic development is rise in the real per capita income, quality of life, quality of expectancy, quality of life and expectancy, real gross national product, human development index, gender related development index, and poverty index. These are the things, these are the factors which you are going to study under this. Okay. So here, when you talk about the real rise in per capita income, so here, what is meant by this? So here, real rise in the per capita income, in the sense here, whatever, whenever the income of the individual increases, its real income also increases. Okay. So here, with this, what happens? The person in the economy is very, is happy and is prospering. Okay. And here, when you talk about the per capita income, these they do not determine whether the rise is due to equal distribution or unequal distribution in the economy. Okay, this you only talk about the rise in the per capita income or decline in the per capita income, but in the sense it is. So when you talk about the capital income, like are you talking about like due to equal distribution or unequal distribution? That part is not studied under the limitations of the per capita income. Okay, so here like quality of life and expectancy, like you're going to talk about what are the basic facilities required for the human beings, like water, electricity, housing. Okay, so here like whoever is having this, like quality of life is considered as good in the nation. Okay, so when you take the people, the well-being of the people, these are the things you are going to consider in order to know, in order to consider like as a nation is in the good condition. Okay, so here like here the measuring factor is needs of the people, the basic needs, as I said that like it is health, sanitation, education, nutrition. Okay, these are the basic needs which is required by the people. Okay, and here so when you talk about the expectancy, the main factor is like infant sorry, mortality rate. Okay, so here well, life expectancy, here you're going to talk about the average life of the population who are living in the economy. So that's how you're going to calculate it. Okay, and then real gross national product, in the sense here like uh, you're going to talk about the GDP as well as the GNP. GDP stands for gross domestic product and GNP stands for gross national product. Okay, so here like why do you measure this? Why do you measure GNP? Why do you measure GDP? So these are the measuring factors for the economic development of the nation. So increase in both, like it ensures that like you find like larger availability of the goods and services in that particular economy. Okay, and here not only that, it also supports the standard of living of the people, that increases the economic conditions of the economy. Okay, and here whenever you are going to calculate the GDP for the correct, you are going to calculate the GDP for the correct prices. When you're calculating it here, they may be sometimes the GDP may increase due to the price rise or decrease. Okay, so here like when you talk about this does not mean the availability of goods and services have been increased. Okay, so these are the factors to be considered by calculating the GDP and GNP. Okay, and then oh, like again you have another topic is like characteristics of underdeveloped economy. Okay, characteristics of underdeveloped economy. So how can you say that that particular economy is underdeveloped or developing or developed nation? So here, when you talk about the underdeveloped economy, what are the features? What are the factors you are going to consider? Like more reliability on the primary sector. If the particular economy is dependent on like 100%, it is dependent on the primary sector, that is agriculture sector, then you can say that it is underdeveloped economy. And capital formation. So here when you find scarcity, capital scarcity in the developing nation, then also you call it as underdeveloped economy. And also if there is a high poverty and malnutrition, if there is underutilization of natural resources, we have plenty of natural resources, isn't it? So when you're not utilizing the natural resources, when you're not going to the optimization of the resources, then also we call it as underdeveloped economy or underdeveloping economy. Okay, and urbanization and environmental degradation, then also you call it as underdeveloped economy. Poor infrastructure in the sense, yeah, when you talk about the infrastructure, it includes the roads, it includes the electricity, it includes the drinking water. Okay, so this and all, if these facilities are not available to the people in the economy, then also you call it as underdeveloped economy. And the political instability and poor governance. Your political instability, every 6 months or every 1 year, the political in the nation is changing. Then also you call it as underdeveloped economy. Okay, so here this is a threat for the economy. If the political is not 5 years called as instability. Okay, so here, for example, like Pakistan, you can take it as example. Okay, where there is instability in the economy, political instability in the economy, and as well as if there is poor governance also, then we will call it as underdeveloped economy. These are the elements, these are the features for the underdeveloped economy, which you can see in page number 8 and 9. Okay, which you can see in 8 and 9. Is this clear, this part? Up to here, any doubts you have? Up to here, do you have any doubts? What is economic development? What is economic growth? What is the difference between economic development and economic growth? And what are the features for underdeveloped economy? And what are the features for developing economy? Is this clear, this part? I'm asking you something. Is this clear, this part?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. And then here next is a second unit is all about human development. Okay, here human development index, as I told you all, like in the session, like human that is when I explained about measures of economic development and social welfare, there I discussed about human development index. What is meant by human development index? So here, in short, it is called as HDI. It is there in page number 15. Okay. In short, it is called as HDI. So here, this HDI, it is a statistic developed and compiled by the United Nation. Okay. Since 1990. Okay. So here, why this? What is the significance of this HDI? It measures the various countries' levels of social and economic development. Okay. So here, it going to study. It measures the levels of social and economic development. So here, when you talk about HDI, how this HDI is composed? It is composed by principle, like four principles, like that is mean years of schooling, expected years of schooling, and life expectancy at birth, and gross national income. Okay. So here, so when you talk about the HDI, like it was created in order to, as I said, that in order to emphasize that people and their capabilities, uh, so it should be ultimately criteria. It is for assessing the development of the country. Okay. So here we are not talking about the economic growth alone. Here we are talking about the assessing the development of the country. Okay. So here, this HDI, it uses components such as average annual income and educational expectations to rank and compare the countries. Okay, so here these are the major components of HDI. Okay, and then here, when you talk about the HDI, so how this HDI is measured? Okay, so if this is measured, it is the summary of measurement of basic achievements levels in the human development. Okay, so here, how it is, how we are going to examine that, like with knowledge, with the understanding, by long and healthy life. Okay, by acceptable standard living, and here, whatever the components you are considering, these components is normalized to scale between 0 and 1. Okay, and then here you are going to calculate the health aspect. As I said, that you are going to calculate the health aspects and education and also economic metrics. Okay, so here, when you take about HDI, our economy, our Indian economy, it is in the 132 place. Okay, here the 132 place, 132 place, we are there. Okay, the rank is 132 rank. Okay, so here, then when you talk about HDI, so again here in your syllabus, shortcoming and critic of HDI is given. Some shortcomings is given, that is limitations given. Okay, so that means that uh, this HDI, it will not specifically reflect the quality of the life factors, such as like it don't talk about the empowerment moments or overall feelings of the security. Okay, so here, in like this UN, that is UN Human Development Report, that is HDRO, it provides additional composite indices in order to evaluate the aspects, including the inequality issues. Inequality issues in the sense here we are talking about the gender disparity. Okay, gender disparity or racial inequality we are talking about here. Okay, and this is one of the limitation. And here, like the second one is examination and evaluation of the country HDI. Okay, here, expansion, you're going to read the country of the economic growth. You're going to talk about the expansion of the employment opportunities. You're going to talk about the success of initiation undertaken in order to improve the overall quality of a life, overall quality life of a country. Okay, so here, in constructing the HDI, role of the quality has been ignored. Okay, and here, these are the basic limitations of HDI. Okay, so as I said that what are the basic indicators which you are going to use? You're going to start this HDI. It measures, as I said that, like it measures the country's social and economic development by focusing. Here, when you calculate the HDI, is HDI good or bad? Okay, so always remember that whenever you calculate the HDI, the higher HDI is better. Okay. So here, what is meant by higher HDI? It means that country is country is in a position to offer a generally high standard of living. Means country is in a position to provide high standard of living with healthcare, education, and opportunities like employment opportunities. Okay, so that's the reason generally when you generally every economy sees to it that like every economy should have high HDI so that you are able to lift the status of the individual in the economy, that is increasing the standard of living. Okay, and providing some health benefits, healthcare, like establishing some health units and all, education and opportunities, employment generation. Okay, so here when you talk about this HDI, you can expect question on what is HDI. Okay, explain the HDI. Explain the HDI in the sense. So here, whatever I've explained about HDI. So what is meant by HDI? What are the key elements to be considered? And how do you determine how HDI is measured? And what is the ranking of the HDI? And what are the limitations of the HDI? These are the elements to be added. So when this question is been asked in the examination, is this clear? This part? Is this clear? This part?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And next is resource structure. Resources. What is meant by resources? Resources. What is meant by resources? What is meant by resources, ma?
Assets, ma'am.
Ma, assets. Can you define asset? Can you define asset? Can you define assets? When you can call it an asset? When you can call it an asset? See, yeah. For example, like in the college, like or else you take the office. I bought the machinery, but I am not utilizing the machinery. Can I call that particular machine as an asset? Can I call Amma? You should talk to me. Can I call that machinery as an asset?
No, ma'am.
So, what is an asset? See, asset in the sense here which generates revenue. Okay. So, why I bought the machinery in the organization? I bought the machinery in the organization in order to generate revenue, in order to process the raw material and produce the finished good, isn't it? Okay. After producing the finished good, I can sell the product in the market, I can generate revenue. So, here, when I can call it an asset, when I am able to generate revenue from that particular. For example, after you complete your degree, with the degree, if you are able to get a job and you're capable of earning, then you'll be called an asset, isn't it? After completing your degree, also you're not working, like you become liable for your parents. Got it? The difference between assets and liability. Okay. So asset in the sense it should be your certificate should be able to generate revenue. If that is not able to generate revenue in the sense, then it is not called an asset. Okay. That's the difference between asset and liability. Okay. So here, when you talk about resources, so we have like when you talk about the resources, here we are talking about the natural resources. So here, natural resources in the sense, here these are the resources which exist without any actions or without any intervention of human beings in the nature. So it is natural. Okay. So here, like for example, when you talk about the natural resources like water, coal, wood, iron, okay, this and all you can take it as example under natural resources. So when you classify the natural resources, we have two types of natural resources, that is renewable natural resources and non-renewable natural resources. So according to the continual utility, you have renewable natural resources and non-renewable natural resources. So what is meant by renewable natural resources? Renewable natural resources in the sense, these are the resources which can be reused. For example, like solar panels are there. Okay, solar panels. So every day sun comes, isn't it? So that you can renew it. The whatever the electricity generated by that, and you after utilizing it, again you can renew that. So that is renewable resources. Example, best example is solar panels. You can take this example under this. Okay, and here these are the resources which have components of air, water, sunlight, wind. Okay, and here um, always the rate of the renewable energy is greater than the rate of the energy getting exhausted. Okay, that means that renewable energy is always more greater than the non-renewable energy. Okay, and here most of the renewable resources, whatever you find in the environment, okay, that is environmental friendly. And here it will not environmental friendly in the sense it will not cause any pollution. Okay, and here these are the whatever the resources you find under the renewable resources, these are the non-conventional resources. Okay, these are the non-conventional resources. And when you talk about the non-renewable resources, here these are the resources cannot be renewed once used. Petrol, okay, LPG gas, this and all you can take it as example. Once you are using again and again, you cannot use that. Okay, you have to go for the new one. Okay, with the existing one you cannot use. Okay, whereas renewable resources with the existing one you can use, whereas non-renewable resources you cannot reuse that. Okay, so here like these non-renewable resources, they cause pollution. For example, when you're using bike, you use the petrol, isn't it? And then this petrol, it causes pollution in the environment. Okay, so here and here these resources are conventional resources. Okay, so here for example, like you take like non-renewable natural resources, you can take example like air, water, fossil fuels, this and all you can take it as example. Okay, you can take it as examples. And here like again you have land. Okay, uh, like land, again you have like page number 25. Okay, so here you like importance of land is given. Okay, and importance and types of lands is given. Okay, types of lands is given, coverage of land. Okay, here, one second. So here, like what is land? Here, land in the sense it is the like It is the solid material what is given in your textbook. That's what I'm reading. It is a solid material of the earth, whatever may be the ingredient which is composed with, whether soil, rock, or other substance. Okay. So here, instead of this, I explain land. Okay. So land. So here, factors of production. How many factors of production we have? How many factors of production we have? Ma, how many factors of production we have? Amma, you answer the question. How many factors of production are there? 5. Hello, are you all there in the class? Hello? Hello? Amma, class lo unnara meer andaru?
Yes, ma'am.
Then what happened? I'm asking you something, isn't it? How many factors of production is there?
4.
ఏమేమ్మా నేను అదే చెప్పాను నా క్లాస్లో ఎప్పుడు you should be two-way communication. I keep explaining it, you keep asking the question, you try to clarify your doubts, okay? And whenever I ask the question, try to answer the question. It should be two-way communication. What are they? Somebody said 4. So what are they?
Land, labor,
Land, labor, capital, and
capital.
organization.
Nah. So, to your knowledge, it is 4. But the thing is, we have 5 factors of production. Okay? We have 5 factors of production. So, land, labor, capital, organization, and technology. 5th element is added. Okay? That is technology. So, here, when you talk about the land is one of the factor of production. Okay? Land, here, when you talk about the land, ఇక్కడ ఏమి ఇచ్చారు మా ఏమి ఇవ్వలేదు. Okay, so when you talk about the land in the factor of production with the given input you can produce, means input is equal to the output. Okay, we have different types of lands. Okay, different types of lands, that is agricultural land, residential land, commercial land, industrial land, agricultural land conversion to the non-agricultural use, special economic zones, eco sensitive and reserved lands. Okay, these are the different types of lands, but in your book it is given desert, forest, grasslands, tundra. Okay, these are the lands is given, but the thing is, when you talk about the different types of lands, these are the lands which is available in our economy. Okay, and then forest. So here, forest, again, what is there? Importance of forest is given, that is purification of atmosphere, climate control, habitat for animals and birds, different layers in the forest. Here different layers in the forest, like you have like 4 layers: forest floor, understory, canopy, and emergent layer. Okay, so here, forest layer, like it is all about the bottommost layer. Bottommost layer we will call it as forest floor. Okay, and here it is the darkest layer. It is the darkest layer, and you find very few plants. That means that very few plants we can grow in that particular layer. Okay, here it is the layer which provides the nutrients to the plants. Okay, and not only that, it does not have trees, and it generally, like you find in the forest floor, you find mostly herbs like grasses with many decomposers. Okay, so here this is the first layer, and the second layer is understory layer. Understory layer in the sense this is the middle layer which is formed by shrubs and small trees. Okay, and this particular layer, it is the home for many animals. And then canopy, this is a layer which is above the understory. Okay, and here it is formed by all the tall trees and their widely spread branches. Okay, and then last one is emergent layer. Emergent layer in the sense some forest, like they have the additional layer on additional layer. This additional layer we will call it as emergent layer. Okay, so here the plants in this layer, like it requires the maximum amount of the sunlight. Okay, that's the reason like they emerge to receive the maximum possible of sunlight. Okay, these are the layers of the forest. Okay, these are the layers of the forest which is already given, but once again you go through that. So whatever I explained, once again you listen in the YouTube. Okay, next is types of forest. Here you have like tropical rainforest, subtropical forest. Okay, uh, plantation forest. Here you have tropical evergreen forest, tropical deciduous forest, scrub forest and grasslands, desert vegetation, mountain forest, mangrove forest. Okay, so here just go through the content. It is in simpler words only it is given. Okay, and top forests in India is Sundarban, West Bengal, Gir Forest, Gujarat, Jim Corbett, Uttarakhand, Ranthambore, Rajasthan, Kasi Forest, Meghalaya. Just go through that one. Okay, and then water. Water is given. Okay, so here means he is talking all about the natural resources. First natural resource is land, second one is forest, and third one is water. So here water is talking about the uses of water, which is given in page number 31, that is for irrigation, cooking, washing and cleaning, drinking, provides home to millions of creatures, enables transportation. Okay, and types of water is given: tap water, mineral water, spring or glacier water, well water, purified water, distilled water, sparkling water, flavored or infused water, alkaline water. Okay, these are the different 9 types is given in the book. You can go through the content. And minerals. Okay, types of minerals and uses of minerals is given. Okasari, you go through the content, ma. Open the page number 33. Open page number 33. Open చేశారా? So when you talk, Amma, hello, are you all there in the class?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
మీకు కూడా కొత్త ఇది చలో categories of mineral resources. This you take down. Categories of mineral resources. Mineral resources are divided into two major categories. Okay, అక్కడ రాసుకోండి. Types of mineral resources divided into two: metallic and non-metallic. Metallic and non-metallic. Okay, మళ్ళీ మెటాలిక్ లో డివైడ్ into two, ferrous and non-ferrous. FERROUS, ferrous, and second one is non-ferrous. Ferrous and non-ferrous. Finished writing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here, what is meant by metallic? Okay. So here, like there are, like when you talk about the metals, there are hard and like conduct electricity. They have like characteristics uh, luster or shine. For example, like silver, and nickel, copper, iron, lead, aluminum, gold, zinc, this and all, you can take it as example under this. Okay. Then why it is called as metallic minerals? What are the features? What are the characteristics? Metallic minerals, they show the metallic shine in their appearance. Okay. And the second feature is the potential source of the metal can be got through mining. And not only that, it contains metals in their chemical composition. Okay. So here, as I said, that metallic again classified into two, that is ferrous metallic minerals and non-ferrous. Okay. Minerals which contain iron, we will call it as ferrous minerals. Okay. For example, iron ore, manganese, manganese, chromites, this and all, you can take it as example. And then non-ferrous minerals, in the sense minerals that do not contain iron, is called as non-ferrous. The difference between, is this clear? The difference between metallic and non-metallic. Metallic, in the metallic, ferrous metallic minerals, in the sense which contain iron. Non-ferrous, in the sense it will not contain iron. Okay. So your non-ferrous minerals, you can take it as example: lead, silver, gold, copper. You can take it as example. You want to write the definition of this? You want to write the definition?
Yes.
రాసుకోండమ్మా. You wrote the classification kada? Types of mineral resources: metallic and non-metallic. Metallic again are of two types: ferrous and non-ferrous. రాసుకోండి అక్కడ. Ferrous metallic minerals and పెట్టి రాసి put a dash. Ferrous metallic minerals. These are the minerals that contains iron. That contains iron. Example: chromites, manganese, iron ore. And next, non-ferrous minerals. Non-ferrous minerals. Take down. These are the minerals. These are the minerals that do not contain iron. That do not contain iron. Okay. Example: gold, copper, silver. You can take it as examples. Okay. Then, what is the importance of mineral resources? The importance of mineral resources is here that whatever the resources available in the economy, it indicates that here the country's industrial and economic growth by supplying the raw materials to the primary, secondary, and tertiary sectors. Okay. Primary, tertiary, and secondary sectors. Okay. This is the significance of mineral resources. And what are the uses of minerals? Here, use of minerals, for example, you're taking like calcium, you are taking. Okay. When you take calcium, it provides bones and teeth with the stability. Okay. And also it aids in like enzyme regulation, nervous system processing of signals. Okay. For this and all, calcium is needed. Okay. See here how minerals are found. So here we are talking about the mineral is the natural resources and how these minerals are found. Okay, this is found all over the world in the crust of the earth. Okay, here amma once crust of the earth. Amma 1 second, ma. All of them. Okay. So here, how minerals are found, as I said that it is found in the crust of the earth. Okay. So next is environmental degradation. Okay. So here, when you talk about the environmental degradation, it talks about, it is all about deterioration of the environment to depletion of resources. Depletion of resources in the sense, here, depletion of resources, what are the resources, the minerals, whatever you're finding in the environment. Okay. So here, and not only that, here depletion of the, like it can be air or it can be water or it can be soil or it can be minerals which you find in the economy. Okay. So here, what are the main causes? Main causes of this environmental degradation is deforestation, overgrazing, pollution, and climate change. These are the main causes of environmental degradation. Okay. So here, in this, like in page number 35, 36, like it is given about pollution, overpopulation, landfills, deforestation, natural causes. Okay. So here, and then what are the main effects? Okay, what are the main effects of environmental degradation? Yeah, that is like increased poverty, overcrowding. Okay, weather extremes. Okay, weather extremes in the sense your like soaring sun. Okay, your acute and chronic medical illness, war, human rights abuses. Okay, these are the major effects which you find with the environmental degradation. And here, what is the solution? So here I gave what is meant by economic environmental degradation. That is, it is deterioration of the environment. And what are the main causes? Main causes is deforestation, overgrazing, climate change, pollution. And what are the major effects? That is, you have like illness will be there, weather extremes you find, overcrowding you find, poverty, increasing in poverty. These are the major effects. And here, what are the solutions? Solutions is like here you can go with like sustainable practices, and you can go with the waste management, conservation efforts, reducing pollution, going with the, instead of non-renewable energy, going with the renewable energy. Okay, environmental educating, that is educating the people about the environment, not to pollute the environment. Okay, and making some reforms in the policies. These are the things which, if you make it, you can turn around the environmental degradation. Okay, uh, and then you have infrastructure. Types of infrastructure is given. That is economic infra, social infra. Okay, and again you have energy, types of energy again, which is page number 38. You have mechanical energy, thermal energy, chemical energy, kinetic energy, and potential energy. And again you have another element is power, and you have transportation, like the economic benefits is given and social benefits is given. Economic benefits is better production in both agricultural and industrial sector, reduction in the cost of production, reduction in the scarcity. Okay, and social benefits is education expansion, social and cultural spirit, employment generation, social and higher standard of living, relationship between, means there's coordination between urban and rural areas. Okay, and then classification of transport is given. That is, you have rail transport, road transport, and waterways. And what are the advantages and disadvantages is given in your book. That is page number 43 to 46. Just go through the content. It is very simple. No explanation is needed. Wherever explanation is needed, I gave some points and explanation. So this and all, just go through the content. So here, external point of view, you can expect the question like classification of national resources. When you talk about the classification of national resources, it like you give the classification and you talk about the different resources which are available in the environment. Okay, and then like one more question you can expect is what are the causes of environmental degradation? This is very important question. Okay, so so when this question is asked in the examination, you need to explain what is meant by environmental degradation and how the economy what are the main causes of environmental degradation, and then you need to talk about what are the solutions you can give for turnarounding it. So you need to explain all this under the environmental degradation. Okay, this question you can expect external point of view. Is this clear, this part? Is this clear? So I've discussed about
Yes, ma'am.
what is meant by economic development, difference between growth and development. I discussed about human development and resource structure. So from next unit onwards, it will be like interesting. That is, I'll be discussing about economic planning in India, saving investment, capital formation. This is very important economic point of view. So that will be a little bit interesting. So here now this class, in general, the overview of it I've discussed. So what are the national resources? What you find in the economy? So how it is depleting? So what are the causes for that? How to overcome that? That and all I've discussed. That I've discussed that. Do you have any questions? If you have any questions, you can ask me. I'll wait for another 2 to 3 minutes. So meanwhile, any questions you can ask me. Somebody gave labor, land, labor, capital, production. It is not the production, it is the organization. 5 factors. And remember that don't say in the interview also, if they ask you how many factors of production, just tell them that we have 5 factors of production. One more element is added, that is technology is added. So we have, instead of 4, now we have 5 factors of production. That is land, labor, capital, organization, and technology. Okay. Data. Okay. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Amma, do you have any questions? Ma'am, once again, you tell factors of production. Land, labor, I'll type, okay. Land, labor. ఇంకా తీసుకో. Amma, I gave, see. I've shared it. In section C, there is no object type question. Why do you worry about that? If no objective questions?
మ్యామ్ ప్యాటర్న్ చేంజ్ అయింది మ్యామ్.
ఓకే, ఆబ్జెక్టివ్ క్వశ్చన్స్ కావాలా మీకు? ఇందులో లేవా?
లేదు మ్యామ్, ఆబ్జెక్టివ్ రావట్లేదు 20 మార్క్స్ కి. 20 మార్క్స్ కి 2 క్వశ్చన్స్ అందులో నుంచి ఒకటి రాయాలి మ్యామ్, థియరీ పార్ట్.
మరి అంతే కదా. వాట్ ఈస్ సెక్షన్? నాకు క్వశ్చన్ పేపర్ ప్యాటర్న్ జస్ట్ ఐ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ అండ్ లెట్ యు నో మా. క్వశ్చన్ ప్యాటర్న్ తెలియదు నాకు. ఓకే, జస్ట్ ఐ ఫైండ్ అవుట్ అండ్ లెట్ యు నో. ఓకే, ఇప్పటి వరకు ఏమైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉన్నాయా? మా మీరు మాట్లాడాలి, మాట్లాడకపోతే కష్టం అవుతుంది. Even though it is wrong, also try to communicate with me. Okay? Shall I wind up the session? అర్థమవుతుంది అందరికీ? అమ్మా, అర్థమవుతుంది అందరికీ? ఓకే, సెక్షన్ బి ఉంది. This question paper I'll discuss in banking and insurance. Banking, okay? Okay. Chalo. Okay, bye.
మ్యామ్ ఫైనాన్షియల్ మార్కెట్స్ కదా మ్యామ్?
Hello.